Okay, so now that we put everything else behind us, let's talk more about tooling and how to set up TablePlus and link into your WSL environment and see what you have in your database. So in a previous lesson, we actually got MySQL installed where we could log in with the root username and password. So let's just verify that again. So MySQL, username is root, and the password input is root at 123 is what we had configured, and it is still working. So now I'm going to show you how to use the, in my case, TablePlus to log in and create a database within the MySQL database on the WSL partition. So let's do it. So the first thing I need is TablePlus. Let's open that up and let us create a new connection. So it is going to be a MySQL connection, and I'll just call it local host, or I can call it WSL, and it is 127.0.0.1. Port is 3306. Username we know is root. Password is root at 123. I'm not going to put a default database or anything like that. Let us, we actually don't need to log in with SSL or anything like that. So let's test this. We are good. So let's save this config for later. And let's go in here. And if we look at the database, there is nothing right now. Let's add a database called Laravel. And I'm just going to use UTF MP4. And here we have our database set up. So now, if I minimize this and I go back to our code folder, and we have the Laravel project that we installed, we should now be able to migrate the database. So let's quickly look at the env file just to make sure it's referencing the right credentials. So yeah, we set this up last time. It's root and root at 123. Everything else stays the same. And now let us PHP artisan migrate fresh. And we have migrated our database successfully. Now, when I first did the server setup session, I also wanted to include a piece on how to automate your daemon processes. So for example, let's use this Laravel Horizon basically to set this up and show you how to get this done using WSL. So if you're not familiar with it, Horizon provides a beautiful dashboard and code-driven configuration for your Laravel Redis queues. So let us go ahead and actually install this. Just to show you, we right now it would be available at the Horizon endpoint, but there's nothing found. So let us now install this. So you may have seen that it requires some of the Redis drivers. So let's install predis. So what I also noticed was that the PHP Redis extension wasn't installed. So I've already done a apt update command in the background, but so we will now install the Redis extension, and do note that I've added this to our automation script, so when you do use that in the future, everything would be installed, including the Redis extension. Okay, let us now, just to be on the safe side, let's source our server files automation script, which will restart PHP, FPM, and Nginx. Looks like we're good. And now let us continue our installation of Horizon. So we now have to install Horizon, and it installs the required scaffolding assets and configuration. And with any luck, we should be good to go. But there is one more thing, and this is where the whole daemon process comes into play. We need to actually start Horizon. So if we look here, there's a PHP artisan Horizon command. So if I were to refresh this, it is inactive, but then once we run the Horizon command, it's running in the background. We're now active, and there's three processes running. So this part of automating this daemon job in the background is what I'm going to help you with now. So let us stop this, and we will leverage supervisor to do the needful. So we now have Horizon, but it's inactive. So let's set up the daemon process. So in order to do that, we first need to navigate to the supervisor conf directory. So this is where all your startup programs that you want supervisor to control reside. So what I've done here is I've already set up the configuration for Horizon. You can reference this. I will attach it in the lesson files. But if we cat horizon.conf, you will see that you give the program a name. The directory is our starting directory, which is in our code Laravel folder. The command we run is php artisan horizon. We wanted to auto start and restart with supervisor. And of course, we have some log files that are associated with it. So now that we have that set up, we need to start or restart Horizon. So I think the easiest way to do this, or actually it's supervisor that we need to restart. So let us clear this out, sorry, and let's just source our ZSHRC file, because in the startup script we already have supervisor running. So let's do this. Supervisor, okay, there was an error. So if you get this error, cannot read real-time clock, just close up Ubuntu and let's try this again. Ubuntu 20 is the one we're using. Let's give it another shot. Okay, so just to just make sure. Yeah, you can see the supervisor process is running, and as a sanity check again, we can look at supervisor control, and we should see Horizon is running. So now when we go to our Horizon dashboard, it is active, and every time you restart Ubuntu, it will be active.